Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball HTB. I hope you guys are well. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. Look, if you're new, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. This video here today is going to be a discussion video on my thoughts on who will be a breakout star. Now, granted, it's not about rookies, it's not about veterans. It's just players that I think will have a breakout year, whether they're consistent from the seasons gone past or whether somebody who will take the reins of their team and push them forward. It's entirely subjective. It's all opinion based. Also, as well, FYI, I'm also going to be doing the Warriors too. So, again, it's all opinion based. But yeah, that's about it. It's all opinion based, like I said. But before we get into it, hit the intro. Alright guys, like I said, it's a discussion, so again, I'm going to be talking through it, explaining to you guys my thoughts and reasons, and we'll just go from there. Alright, so first I have is the Brisbane Broncos, and I've got Payne Haas. I think Payne Haas, to me personally, is the epitome of consistency, one percenter, a great workhorse, forever on a week-to-week basis, in my opinion, is arguably the most consistent player in their team. Definitely in the top 5 performers in the NRL, I think, on a week-to-week basis. Obviously, you've got the likes of Selwyn Cobo, you've got Kurt Capewell, don't forget Adam Reynolds. Again, players who are coming into this team who could potentially add some spark. But in saying that as well, you could probably look at Donny Staggs. But I think for me personally, Payne Haas is still going to show that regular, consistent workhorse attitude that he has continued to show and will show, in my opinion, heading into 2022. Now for the Raiders, it's pretty tough. You've got a dynamic squad, young, old. Some players have gone, some have come. But in saying that, for this one here, I sort of went to the back line for this, and I looked specifically at Sebastian Kris. Now, he's the one who normally wears the headgear, can wear the green one sometimes. But again, he's a player, in my opinion, who I think will jump, and I think will do well heading into the next season. He's dynamic. He's very strong. It's definitely got a very good attacking game, attacking style about him, and I think next season will prove to be, in my opinion, the biggest riser for the Canberra Raiders. All right, so now we come to the Bulldogs. This team here, heavy with superstars from Josh Adokar to Bungai Jr., to Matt Burton. You've got those names there. Hetherington, Torpin. Again, it's a young and old squad with a bit of exuberance and a bit of class about him. But in saying that, in this mix here, I had to choose one. And one player in particular who I think I'm a fan of personally, I don't mind him, Bailey Biondi Otto. Now, again, the reason why I bring him up is I just think he's somebody who, in my opinion, will be learning from these new stars that are coming in. But at the same time, he's someone who adds his own game. He's got a bit of flair, and if you actually check the way he plays, he's got a lot of footy IQ. I do believe he will definitely be taking the reins, particularly in the hooking role. Obviously, he can cover a few departments there, but I think hooking primarily, he, to me, in my opinion, is the next big... he's going to have a breakout year, basically, I think, anyway. So what do you Doggy fans think? Sharks. We all know the Sharks that made some big moves, big moves. Finucane, Hines, McInnes, even Ikuvalu as well from the Roosters. So again, things are happening there. However, for next season, who do I believe? Nico Hines. He is the guy. From the Storm coming in here, he's definitely got to have a lot more eyes on him, especially he'll be starting regularly. He's got the main position, right? He'll be playing in the house position. I believe he's playing 5'8". So again, all eyes will be on him. I do expect him to thrive in this. I believe he's someone who likes to thrive under pressure. Look to him to lead. Look to him to be in the front foot here. So Nico Hines, for me personally, is going to be the man to lead the Sharks heading forward into their finals campaign for next season. Next up, we have the Titans. The Titans. Superstars. Fa'asoa Maliawi, Fifita, AJ Brimson, right? I can't go past Jaden Campbell, JC. I believe we saw a little glimpse of him last season. Little glimpse. But I think next season, this is going to be his breakout year. I expect him to lead from the front, and obviously taking that spot away from AJ Brimson at the fullback position just shows you how much of a dynamic player he is, how much he can contribute to the team, and at the same time as well, just how big I think he will be. He can be. Like I said, we saw glimpses, but I reckon he can take it up a notch and definitely go the whole way. So I expect him to lead the team. And like I said, in a team full of young and upcoming superstars. It's a big call, but I think it's one that he definitely fits. All right, so the next one here, I have Manly. Look, I'm going to be upfront. It's going to be Tom Trbojevic again. Mr. Consistent. Will he reach the peaks that he has done so last season? Unsure. But can he go higher? Unsure. But is he someone that'll be consistent? I think so. Granted, staying away from injuries will be the best thing for him. I do believe Tom Trbojevic is still their go-to and will be their go-to for quite some time. So expect me to possibly say his name on an annual basis. But I think Tom Trbojevic is the guy to go to. Full stop. Next up, we have the Storm. And obviously the Storm, you can look at the players. You've got Pappenhuisen. You've got Munster. You've got Brandon Smith to a degree, though he signed with the Roosters. You've got Ramus Smith. You know, you've got a list of players who can potentially carry and go forward. But I think, in my opinion, personally, I think one player that will thrive in this new system is going to be Xavier Coates. Yep, that's right. Xavier Coates is made for this moment. In my opinion, he's built like a Storm player, to be fair. And I think fitting in with this team here, particularly just the way they play their ball, their game, I expect Xavier Coates to absolutely eat this up and do big and bad, in a good way, things for the Storm. He's going to be mean. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to be scoring a lot of tries. Expect a lot of bombs his way. I see him lifting up his game tenfold. At the Broncos, he was good. All right, and I'm not going to try and discredit the Broncos here, but I'm just going to say that Storm, we all know their reputation. I don't like saying this, but they're a good team. They know how to develop players. They know how to make their players execute plays well. Xavier Coates, I think, fits in that mold that they're looking for, and to be fair, I see him definitely being their next rising star for them, and I see him elevating his game 10 times for sure. We now go into the Knights, and the Knights have, Mitchell Pearce has left recently. They've got Frizzell, they've got Ponga there, they've got To'a, they've got Gagai who returns. Again, a few players here and there, Barnett. But I think, in my opinion here, a breakout for me. Again, I looked in the backs, some to the Raiders. I'm going to go with Bradman Best. And the reason why I say that is I think Bradman Best is due for a big one. Granted, he had a few injuries last season that definitely hampered him. I could still see some brilliance there, particularly in the attacking edge. Defensively, he's sound, but I think we're going to see more of his attacking brilliance for the Knights here. I think they're going to use him well. Particularly, when you have Gagai there, to be fair, a lot of pressure. Kurt Mantu can also play in the centering position. Heimel Hunt, So again, there's a few players here who are definitely vying for spots, but I think Bradman Best will be their breakout star. Personally, I just think this is a time for him to understand, to grow, and I think one where he will thrive. And so Bradman Best for me to lift up his game and go a few levels higher. We've got the North Queensland Cowboys here. I've gone and I've turned back the time for this one here. It's not usually something you do, particularly with the new younger players they have, but I've gone with Cohen Hess here. And the reason why, I understand Cohen Hess has changed position back to where he used to play. Cohen Hess, for me, particularly from that 2016-17, particularly 16-17 season, was somebody who, in my opinion, was coming up the ranks, playing some solid footy, strong footy, and displayed, in my opinion, a player that could be, a household name, particularly in the forwards pack. However, unfortunately, due to whatever it was, has dwindled, has slipped. But in saying that, I do believe Cohen Hess can climb back up to where he was, and then some. So for me, I'm picking Cohen Hess to be aggressive, to be robust, to be strong, to be able to carry forward and execute well, especially in that forwards department. Going back to prop, I think is going to be a very good compliment there. And again, like I said, you've got other names around him. Tabwai Fido is one. You know what I mean? Again, just a good young player who, in my opinion, could probably take that spot just as much as Cohen Hess. But I'm backing Cohen Hess to do something here. I'm backing him to return to old form. So we'll see what happens. But that's who I have. For the Eels, a bit controversial, only because he was just recently their best player. But I can't look past him, especially with the context surrounding him, being told he is not really wanted, I guess, or offered a lower deal. That's Isaiah Papali'i. I cannot look past Ice here. I think he's going to prove the Eels wrong. I'm sure he's got that, that mentality that is going to be basically looking at the Eels and saying, well, you know what, you didn't pick me. You didn't want me for the price I thought I was worth. Time for me to show you guys what you've let go of. And to be fair, if there was any player, any team that deserved to, so to speak, split the dummy, but not really split the dummy, but you get what I mean, split the dummy at his own team, I think it's him. he gave the Eels everything and then some. Even won a few awards. Wasn't good enough. Wasn't enough for the deal he wanted. And I thought if there was a player there who deserved it, it was him. So for him to, I guess, context surrounding, I think he is the one there. For him to look at everything that's happening, and I expect a big one from him. Again, you've got Reid Marnie there. Junior Bowler, who just signed a new deal there. You've got Sean Lane, Clint Gutho. You can even go to Hayes Dunster. Some young up-and-coming players, Oregon Galfusi, but I still think Isaiah Papali'i, to me, is the go-to guy and will definitely be, I think it'll be their most consistent and their guy to, their go-to dude. That's what I think. All right, so we have the Penrith Panthers. We know they are the current NRL champions. But for me personally, in terms of somebody who's going to be a star or just continue to be great for them, Nathan Cleary. I can't go past him. I expect Cleary here to lift and go well. If you're a consistent good player, it's what you do. The likes of Jonathan Thurston, Cooper Cronk, Cameron Smith, to a lesser degree, you got your DCEs somewhat. Tedesco's. Again, I'm not trying to compare him to that, particularly the Thurston and Cronk thing. So that's what I'm trying to say. But I'm saying that if you want to be a good footy player, you just got to be consistent year in, year out, year in, year out. And I think we're going to start to see this slowly as Cleary develops. I believe he's 23, 24 years old. So again, we're going to see it. This is where they start to build, and he's not even reached his peak yet, I don't think anyway. But I expect him to be the Mr. Consistent of the Penrith Panthers and somebody who will continue to lift them up and be strong and be bold for them moving in to, I suppose, a defense mode heading into next season. Next up, we have the Dragons. There's been a lot of players who have come up here. And I think for myself here, this was more a look at what can happen. I've looked through their squad. I think Dragons have a good squad. Obviously, Corey Norman has retired. All the best into the next chapter of your life. But for me personally, I've gone with Moses Suli here. I've gone with him. He showed sparks of it in Manly. If there's anybody who has that natural X factor, pardon me, who can actually deliver, give you something out of nothing, I think he's it. I expect a new team, a new challenge. And I guess this will be a point where we will see if Moses Suli can be that mature player that we know he can be. And I'm talking about skill-wise, talent-wise. This is it. I want to see anyone in particular. I'll be definitely eyeing out where Suli goes. But yeah, that's what I have. Dragon fans, who do you think? Like I said, there's been a few players there I could have picked, but I thought Moses Suli would be the one for me. All right, so for the Rabbitohs, again, congrats on, Cameron Murray being selected as the captain. I thought, to be fair, I didn't see it happening. I did not see that one happening, and I'm a bit gutted for that one because I should have, but I didn't. I sort of thought it was either going to be Cody Walker, I just assumed, or it would have been possibly even someone like Latrell Mitchell, possibly. Again, probably way off sort of opinions there regarding captaincy, but that's just where I thought. I didn't even think to look inward in the backs, in the forward position, particularly Cameron Murray. But yeah, that's a perfect pick. That's a no-brainer there. So well done. But yeah, so back to the Rabbitohs. There are a few young up-and-coming players. You got Jackson Bowler, you got Elias as well in the halves. You got Latrell Mitchell, as I mentioned. But I think for me, I want to go with Blake Taaffe here. Now, again, I don't understand or know the minutes he'll be playing next season, or the role he'll play for that matter. But I do know that he's somebody that I think will have a breakout year. I think he showed glimpses of it as well, maturing, being put in that testy fullback position. I'm sure that matures a young player very, very fast, particularly to go at the lengths he did, the Rabbitohs going all the way and all that stuff and just about winning. But again, he was part of that journey there. So again, I believe that was more a blessing in disguise for him as a player, and I think he will use that and utilize that very, very well heading into the next season. So I think he is a guy to look out for. So the Sydney Roosters, for this one here, again, a plethora of players you can select from Walker to Verrills, Tedesco himself, to Bo Niwa, again, just a whole heap of players who could stand up. But for me, I've gone with Lindsay Collins. The reason why, he was injured last season, but I think he's going to come here more hungry, more determined. Lindsay Collins, to me, is just a brute force, man. Just look at him, dude. He just looks like a wrecking ball. You don't want to go on his bad side by looks of things. I do believe he's going to come here with a shot of redemption. And I think if there's one player who can definitely do it, I think it's him. I think he has all the tools and skills necessary to be the player that the Roosters want. So for me personally, I'm gunning for him. Again, tell me what you guys think, but I think the Roosters have a good pick here in Lindsay Collins. Expect him to jump and do remarkably well for the Roosters heading into next season. So for the Tigers, I have picked here in a team that's, I guess, somewhat rebuilding, somewhat not. I'm not too sure what they're doing at the moment now. You know, a few players going off after the end of next season. Jackson Hastings for me. I think he comes with a good story, a redemption story. He, in my opinion, just quickly, he's played Super League. He's played for the Salford Red Devils as well as the Wigan Warriors. He's somebody, in my opinion, who had a good... there was a bit of controversy in Manly at the time. Let's not sort of try and hide it. We're not too sure what happened there. But it happened, and he ended up leaving. He's come back. It's that good, second shot, second chance story. And sometimes players like that, that's all they need, right? To come back and to play well. That's all they need. They just need that chance to have a crack, aka James Maloney. Some players just need a chance, need a crack, and then they do well. So for me, I think he's going to do well. I think he's going to lead the Tigers there. But that's just my opinion there. What do you think, Tigers fans? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Tell me. Let me know. All right, and lastly, the Warriors. So this one here, I think we saw little sparks of it. Probably could have been more consistent. But I think in saying that, we'll probably be better off for it in the long run. So for me, I've picked Josh Curran to be the go-to, the star player, so to speak, next year for the Warriors. He showed glimpses of it, particularly in the latter half of the season. Sort of dipped here, sort of risen there. But the point being is that when he's on, he is on. And I thought he did well. And I thought he showed some brilliance that he can use to his advantage heading into next season. Warriors are going to need a dynamic forward. They're going to need someone who tackles, runs hard, plays the ball well. And he fits all those categories. And he's got a pretty amazing mullet at the moment as we speak. But in saying that, that's just my thoughts there. But guys, what do you think? Who do you think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Tell me. Who do you think in your team is going to be the next one? Tell me. Love to hear it in the comment section. But in saying that, guys, thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. You're the best if you made it this far. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. All that good stuff there. More videos, more content coming out. Like I said, this is Rugby League from a different perspective. But in saying that, take it easy, guys. I'll see you guys next time. And just remember, hold the ball. Take it easy.